I owe you an apology. At the end of the last video, I said in this video we're going to be doing enemies, and I was planning on doing like an intro like that. I have got enemies in here. Look, I've got a chicken's farmyard foes there at the bottom, and we'll talk about those in the next video definitely. But the issue is on our game over scene, and let me just jump on there. When we actually get to the point of it says game over, there's nothing else we can do. We can't restart the game, we can't quit the game, anything like that. So basically what this video is going to be about is buttons. So what we're going to do is add a couple of buttons, just a restart button and a quit button to the game over page. Easiest way to do it, if I click on the plus sign and I come down to UI, and I think if I hover over legacy, I've got button. So I'm just going to use the button which is there, and this button gets chucked up in front of us there. Now you'll notice over on the left hand side, the buttons appeared on the canvas, and there's also this little arrow next to it which says text. So the text is basically what we want the button to say. So I want it to say restart, and I'm going to change the font style so it is the same as the well, basically that font style there. I'm going to just double click on it to zoom in. And just like with the text we've done on previous things, if I go back onto the text here, we're going to do the things of making sure that it's got overflow here, overflow there, and I'm just going to increase the size of it so it basically more or less fills the button kind of like that. Now I can change the color if I wanted to. So if I wanted it to be the font that is a white, so I'm just going to type in the code for white, the hexadecimal code that is, and I can also change the button itself in terms of what color it's going to be. Now you might notice as well as this highlight color, selected color, disabled color. So basically the two I'm looking at are the normal color. What color shall I put in? What color shall I put in? Let's make it a dark red. That's a bit too dark actually, like so. And I'm gonna have it so my highlights color, so when I roll over it, will be kind of that color there. Okay, now it doesn't show up on the screen at all. But if I keep it there, and I think if I just press play, it's not going to do anything at this stage code-wise, but I just want to show you what happens when I roll. So there's my sound effect to say that I finished the game. And as you can see, when I highlight over it, it does that. Now, there is something else I want to do because I don't like the fact that I'm wondering if I can add a shadow onto it. Can I add a shadow onto the button? Let's have a look. Yeah, it does do a shadow. Fantastic. So I'm going to add a shadow to that. I'm also going to add a shadow to the text and make it jump out a little bit. But more importantly, at this stage, we actually want to get this button to actually restart for us. So I'm just going to change the button name to restart so we can see what it is there. And we're going to do a bit of script in a moment. But before we do, we're actually going to add an empty game object, which will be restart script. I couldn't think of anything else to call it, I'm afraid. And on this, I am going to add a restart script itself. So I'm actually going to make a script which is called restart. And that's going to generate for us in the assets area. And bear with me a second. So there it is. If I open that up, and when it loads up in Visual Studio, we're ready then to actually get some code. And that's all the code needs to be. So you've got to make sure you put in this scene management line here, and then where you had public void start, update, and all that stuff, just get rid of that. Type in public void on button press, and then the scene manager to actually basically load up the game. Then, okay, we'll go back to the beginning of the game. So I've saved that. Going to go back onto Unity, and you might think, great, that'll work now. So if I press play, and I'm going to have that stupid noise playing again, and it click on it, and nothing happens. Now, the reason why nothing happens is because the script, remember, has actually been added to this game object, the restart script. But what we need to do is actually attach it to our restart button. So our restart button, when I scroll down and I get to this part here where it says on click, I'm literally just going to press the plus sign, and where it says none, I'm going to drag across the restart script object, and from the no function, there's restart and there's on button press. So once I've done that and I press play, what should happen is we get the stupid noise again. And when I press the button, it takes me back to the sample scene. Now, you only have a button I really want to do, so I am going to move this in a second. I'm actually going to make another button, so I'm just going to press Control D to duplicate it. And this one is going to be the quit button. And I will need to change the text on this one as well. So it does say quit, like so. And just for the time being, I'm just going to drag it down. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I'm actually dragging the text there. Nice. So just click on the parent and drag it down. Now I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. So I'm going to add an empty, and this one is going to be called quit script. And I'm then going to add a component, which is going to be called quit as well. Why did you say player quit handler? What's that? I don't want that. Go away. Remove that component. So add component, quit, new script, and create an ad. So this code will be changed. So it says this. So this is literally all you need for the quitting. And now quitting basically means that when you press the quit button, it will close down your game. So we don't need the on-scene management thing at the top. We obviously haven't got like anything calling scene-wise there. It is literally just that line. So if I save that, come back onto Unity, and just like I did with the restart button, just going to make sure the quit button is selected. Scroll down to this part here. Now this time, I'm going to drag across the quit script because remember, because I duplicated it, I basically copied the fact that I had the restart on there and quit on button press. And I can't actually test this. This is the problem, you see, because I can only test if this works when I actually export the game, which is a future video. And basically, that's how you do buttons. So I'm going to tidy my scene up a little bit. I'm going to put the buttons in a better place, add some shadows onto them. And I might even think about doing like a start screen at some stage as well. But next time, we're going to be looking at these badasses down here and getting them to kind of like run around our screen and maybe cause some damage to us as a player.